呢個英文名係咪啟良？呢個人
啟良係啊，可礦嗰個銀道有冇識過銀道啊？銀道
唔識㗎。
河礦咧識唔識啊？河礦識唔識？
河港啊，
你識啊？哦，你河礦呢條
係咪？
係咯。
我講就係啟良人。
OK， 啟良。
即係你話河
係啦。
咁係啦。
啊，你點寫啊？河礦點寫啊？
河港
係啦，河港好嘅，
即係黃河江。
河江係啦。
邊個河江？佢寫緊。
即係佢個。
黃浩江
係咪？
講溪良人咯，
哦，溪良人咯嘛。
哦，溪良個咯。
即係呢個人呢。
So Michelle had an opportunity to visit her maternal grandmother's village in Toisan. So Michelle, tell us what is going on in this video.
Yes, so I love this clip and I wanted to share it with you guys today because I think it captures a little bit of that magic that the Roots organization is able to do for all of us. It captured that aha moment when a stranger in the village, we just found an elder who was sort of standing along the side of his house, and we had to ask him if he knew, recognized any of our family names. And going into it, we only had the Pinyin translations of the names. So as you can see, it took a few minutes, which felt like 20 minutes, standing there of us going back and forth for them finally to recognize it. But to back up and give you guys a little bit of background information, my brother Derek visited this village in 2012, and he actually got to visit what he thought at the time was our ancestral home. And the night before my rooting, the village officials actually told the leaders that the house that Derek visited was indeed not our ancestral home. So we went into the next day with a plan that we were going to ground root, which is what we called it. And what that meant was that we were going to enter the village and look for an elder and just ask if they knew or recognized any of the names. Magically, that all happened, like you guys saw, and it ended up that we came full circle at the end of the day, and the house that we did find and confirm was our ancestral home was indeed the house that Derek got to visit.
Derek.
All was not lost on his trip.
So what has been your biggest takeaway from this Roots experience?
So, you know, Derek certainly is one of the biggest reasons that I did this trip. And anyone who knows me knows that I hold my immediate family and my 4 siblings in such high regard. Probably too much on a pedestal at some moments. But my biggest takeaway, and it means the world to me, is that my sister Nicole, my younger sister, the fact that I could spark even a little bit of interest in her makes this all worth it to me. So I want to share an email with you guys that she emailed to me while I was in China. I sent like a small recap email to sort of capture everything that had happened, and she emailed me back right away. So I'd like to share a portion of that with you. She was in Bali at the time, so she writes, "I thought my day couldn't get any better until I got your email. Something about being in Peru and being so removed from the normal would make me feel less connected to Derek's experiences because I had so much going on in my own life. But being able to take in your trip through your perspective, just through this one email, has been so impactful. I love how you explained how Derek paved the way to facilitate the ease of your trip, but how you made so many revelations on your own. I can't imagine how exciting it must have felt meeting someone who knew Papa's family. I'm so proud of you for doing this trip. I was surprised that you'd wanted to since Derek had already gone and uncovered our roots, but now I understand why. Visiting yourself is an irreplaceable moment. I'd never considered roots before now, but now I'm strongly leaning towards doing so. I'm so lucky to have all of you as siblings and family. I've been telling everyone, all of my friends, a lot about that lately, and now I feel a strong draw to be closer to home because I want to be closer to all of you. Hopefully soon. Love you. Be safe. Nicole."
I know language was a big part of your trip. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why it's important?
Yeah, so I grew up in San Francisco where, I was surrounded by Chinese speakers. And I regretfully now, have had no interest in the language. So when I found myself in China and being surrounded by our dialect, Toisan, I was so jealous of everyone in our trip who could speak it. And I desperately wanted to have some sort of interaction with the locals. So I took it upon myself to learn a few phrases. Admittedly before, the only things I knew in Chinese were Ni Miao Nai, which is drink your milk, and San Ba, which is turn off the lights. So I could still to this day hear my mom barking in the side. So I learned a few new phrases, and magically they got me through my entire trip. One, which was Nga Jongi Hayak Liga, which is I like to eat that. Nga Se Datle, which is I'm going to miss you. And Nga He Funne, which is I like you. So that got me through my entire trip. And so I know that it's not going to be lost here because Steve and the rest of my Roots family will always welcome a Toy Song conversation.
All right, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.